Hey everybody, welcome back. In the first video we looked at what Adventures in the Materiosphere, the brand new Faraway Land book that's going to be coming out in a Kickstarter in September, what everything was contained in that book, or what that book contains. Like I just learned to speak English. The second video we watched was a brief history of space travel and some history of the Materiosphere, which turned into a longer video than I thought. And I didn't even really go into detail on anything. I was just sort of talking about the very basics, and it seemed to be a lot longer. So it gave me the idea, though, that I would really like to do some videos looking at these pieces of the lore and everything, and really exploring them. I find it something very interesting. It helps me work through some things, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not really sure what's going on here, even as I'm building it, and talking through it sort of helps. So it might be something even interesting on my end. Anyway, in this video, what I wanted to look at was character creation in Adventures in the Materiosphere, and look at like actually in the book, and give you all a little bit of a rundown for that, so you can see what to expect. So let's look at that right now. Basic character creation, just an overview here, and then your character conception. That little guy there is called a Volpox. Colin Chapman, and I should do a shout out to Colin on this. Colin was really helpful in putting this book together. Had a lot of great ideas. Helped with the editing and the proofing, and created some of the content within the book. So I really appreciate that. One of those pieces of content was this little fox guy called the Volpox, which is a species that has been included in here. Anyway, character conception. What else we got? Choose your race. So this is what I want to talk about, because it's a little different than the previous books. In previous books, when you picked a non-human race, it just sort of gave the stat block and special abilities. What I did was I added a descriptive paragraph for each non-human species that you could play as a PC in Adventures in Materiosphere, because I thought it would give a little bit of insight. Now these characters, or these species, are also featured in the Creatures of the Stars, or the Bestiary section of the book, but I wanted players to be able to, or GMs to get a description and to have an idea of what they were as you go into this. So Arachnus, which I believe is in one of the other books, Barbican, he has the power, give me the power, you can become stronger. Probably know who that was influenced by. Of course, the original, the influence, didn't have a little red bow tie. And he has like a sort of Hulk Hogan haircut and mustache. Hulk Hogan was bald, wasn't he? I always remember him just wearing sort of headbands. Or not headbands, but like a, I don't know, what are they called? Handkerchief over his head pulled back. Bonabarus, where they're like four-armed simians. Deadwood, sapient plant species. Demented Avengers. I'll tell you where Demented Avengers came from. There's a Pink Floyd song, and there's a lyric in the song that says, wave upon wave of demented Avengers march cheerfully out of obscurity into a dream. So that's why that's where the idea for Demented Avengers come from, and that's why their planet's also called Dream World. It's this idea of Demented Avengers marching cheerfully out of Dream World in order to defend their queens, Avenger Queen mothers. Acadians, which is in Creatures Volumes 2 or 3, I forget. Star Elves. I think Star Elf was something that Colin came up with. Sometimes these guys dress in cat suits. Execrex. The Hawkland, which are a winged PC species. The Hominus, explorers. Humans, of course. The Co. The Co were heavily influenced by an 80s movie called Critters. If you haven't seen it, it's absolutely worth watching. The Lagrin. I may talk about where a bunch of these things are influenced from, because they're not. They may not be evident as to what the influence was, but once I say, oh, and then you'll be, a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, I totally recognize that now. Moonies, Myscus, which are sort of one of my favorite. The Numa Lunas. And like I said, they've got these little descriptions, and then it tells where the planets that they're from, and then a lot of the planets are also contained in the book as well. Podfolk, which are like little scavengers who can build stuff. Rajoceros, they're from the same planet as the Vingians, which is oh, what's the name of their planet? I forget the name of the planet, but anyway, their star has gone crazy, and it's sort of mutated them. I don't remember the name of the planet right now. The Vec, the Vingians. Does it even say what planet they're from? Oh, they're from the planet Minos. That's what it is. And their star is Car, C-A-W-R. Volpox, we saw that little guy earlier. So these are the different species that are playable as PCs in the game, and of course, all the different species from all the previous books, all the non-player characters or non-human PCs from those previous books, they're all available in here too. And if you're not happy with those, this talks a little bit about how you can use whatever you want in the book or make up your own. And then basic stuff like assigning stat points and hit points. All of this is very similar to stuff in the Tome of Awesome, of course. Same structure, same mechanics. Armor class and actions. Luck. I believe that we added there's a new boon for these, which is the tech boon. It's for using, repairing, understanding, and augmenting high-tech stuff, such as machines, computers, bots. So that is a new boon, but we've only, when I say we, I've only included a single new boon. Flaws, a list of different flaws, and then there's a whole section on abilities, starting magic if appropriate, and then there's your example character sheet of Man, who's a Barbican. And you may get the joke and you may not, but if you don't get the joke, I'm not going to tell you. And then a little bit of section there on advanced level characters, how to generate those. So I won't go into much more detail, but I did want to show what was available as far as non-human PC species that you can play. And I don't know how many there are total. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. So 21 non-human PC templates that you can choose. Well, actually, that's not true. 20, because human is one of those. So 20 non-human species that you can play in Faraway Land Adventures in the Materiosphere. So thanks for watching this. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be about, but we may look at the ships, actually. That's what the next video is going to be about. It's going to be about ships from Adventures in the Materiosphere. All right, I'll see you then.